scared of imperfection because it reveals there's parts of us that are not ideal by some external comparison or by some internal trigger or some past experience where we have that feeling. How do you now deal with your imperfections? Like, how do you feel about parts of you that are not perfect?
I'm okay with that. I actually think a lot of who I am are just a few things that are not perfect. Even down to my laugh. Sometimes I used to be insecure about my laugh, or, the fact that I'll always talk during a movie, or, I always do something minuscule. And I think little things like that make me happy because I feel like everybody else in the world. Recent, for example, a very small example, but this Halloween, I was a banana, and I genuinely just like got the cheapest outfit, put it on, and roamed around Times Square with my friends and had the best time. And everyone kept sending me these memes because everybody else kind of went all out, and maybe I could have painted my face and done a little more, but everyone looked really sexy and fun. And literally I was a banana. That's basically sums up who I am to a T. And it was, that to me means that I don't have to be perfect all the time. I'd rather be that girl.
Yeah. And how does that apply to work? Like, how does that perfectionist mindset work in terms of like music or creation or acting? Like, because that's beautiful in your personal life. It sounds like there's this acceptance of, we can be more in flow. But then how does that apply to like writing or creating or building? Like,
well, I think I always say this in any session: there are no stupid questions. I always have to say that out loud, because sometimes I genuinely will think, well, what does this mean? And how can I unpack this and create a song from this? Or how do I unpack this scene and do the best I can? There are mistakes that happen in the studio and on set that actually end up becoming a part of it. Me messing up a line actually ended up being funny, and we kept it in the show. Or there's something I said in a lyric that was wrong, and it ends up being the biggest hook that we've got. And I look for those moments. I crave those moments.
That's a great example. I love all of those. And it just, that's what feels like magic, right? Like it's when the imperfection can somehow become a part of the process, where you're just like, wow, this actually feels like we got somewhere. And so I think when we start, I love that idea applied both personally and professionally, because I think even the parts of ourselves that we consider to be imperfect, the parts of ourselves that we consider to be broken, when you start seeing use in those, when you start seeing purpose in those,
I always say that there's blessing in the breaking. And every moment that you encounter in your life, even if it's just road rage, as simple as that, to maybe losing someone that you love. There is no perfect way to heal. There is no perfect way of dealing with something. It's more just, how am I going to be a better person? How am I going to make the best choice for myself so that I don't end up angry at that person on the highway, so that I don't end up ruining my day because of what someone did to me on the 405. I want to also say that, how can I turn something like losing someone I so dearly love into, well, how can I celebrate that person and the great things that they provided me or that they gave me? That takes a lot of work. So I don't say that lightly, but I try my hardest to do that. And I try to have my friends hold me accountable to reminding me, hey, let's try to flip this and try to turn it into something else.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what I'm gathering from listening to you is that again, you're not saying I've arrived and this is how I think now. You're saying this is what I'm trying to practice. Like this is the approach that I'm mining in my own life. And
absolutely, this is practice. Every day is practice. I even said it last night at the premiere. I was saying, I don't have anything figured out. I am definitely not like, I'm sold, I'm good. It's more just, this is a continuation.
Yeah.
My story's not done. And I can't wait to find out what's going to happen next. And doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And I'm sure there's going to be bumps that happen, but I'm going to learn how to live with them.